Hey, y'all. Before we jump in, I think last night I went to bed stressed. And I think, like many of you in this room, the last 2 years, we've gone to bed stressed. Waking up today, though, I think I'm going to leave here with something that I haven't had in a long time, which is a lot of hope. And over the last couple of years, everything that EatDenver has done for each other is incredible. And it just couldn't be more awesome to be together right now. And I hope you guys all feel the same way I do, because this is the most special industry in the most incredible town. And I couldn't be more thankful to be a part of it. That being said, Andy Barish, I wish he was here with us today. He is someone that embraces everything that's so important to EatDenver. Community, valuing time, being there for each other when you need each other the most. And over the last couple years, I've had the opportunity to meet this legend, Andy Barish. Andy is the managing director at Jefferies. Jefferies is a global investment bank. He is the director of restaurant equity research and has been a leader of Jefferies' restaurant efforts for over the last 11 years. Previously, he was with Cowen and Company, where he managed an investment bank. He has devoted his entire career to hospitality, constantly on the road, traveling and trying every restaurant and looking for the next incredible experience for the same reason we all are, to just experience that pure moment of joy. Andy is always willing to make time, and he's always looking for a way to support the industry and the amazing people that make it up. And he has just done so much for the state of Colorado and Denver. Today, Andy is going to talk about something more important than anything else in our business. He's always had an amazing perspective of valuing labor as an investment. And investing in your team is by far the most important thing we can do for so many important reasons. But I'm really going to let him share that. So today I'm going to pass it off to the virtual Andy Barish and his message on culture, understanding the importance of human capital.
Thanks to Eds, Katie Laser, and Peter Newland for getting me involved today. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you live. I have a dear place in my heart for Denver and Colorado. In fact, as you're watching this, I'm enjoying skiing in Beaver Creek on a family vacation. And thank goodness the March snow gods were cooperating once again. Hope there's going to be nice spring and summer runoff, and hopefully a quiet fire season to come. So I jumped at this opportunity to do the Ed Talk, given my connections to Denver. I'm a 1985 Cherry Creek High School grad, go Bruins, and I've watched the Denver restaurant scene grow and flourish with such talent, creativity, and diversity that I've told many people about how it matches or even exceeds my current hometown of San Francisco, but also my upcoming change in residence to Boston, which I believe with Denver are two of the youngest major cities in the country. So what is a financial analyst from an investment bank doing here, where most of the time I'm evaluating financial statements and stocks of large public restaurant chains such as McDonald's, Starbucks, and Chipotle? Well, let me put it this way. I've always been intrigued by that special sauce when I walk into a restaurant. And having done this for a pretty long time, it's easy to tell how quickly a great experience will be or how meh that experience will be from the moment I walk in the door, just because of that first interaction with a person. Frankly, human capital has always been so important in this industry, but even more so now given the Great Resignation and the challenges of keeping people in this great industry. I've always been a believer that treating your human capital or your labor cost as an investment, not purely a cost, will allow for better retention and attracting new partners, which allows for a more consistent guest experience, higher guest loyalty, and the proverbial flywheel, which leads to higher sales and profits. Purpose with your team and profits are not mutually exclusive. In fact, I believe they create more value over time. So how do you get there and really get brand apostles internally for your team so they can start spreading the word externally to the consumer? Well, it starts with culture. But what is culture? As Herb Kelleher, the much-quoted founder of Southwest Airlines, has said, it's the things you do when no one is looking. More formally, we conducted a survey that looked at the top 3 values about culture, and they are respect, teamwork, and appreciation. EY, a professional services firm, defines it as the unwritten rules that set expectations about how people decide and behave, reflected in what people actually do every day, what is celebrated, emphasized, and sometimes overlooked. By measuring the human capital of your restaurant company and analyzing employee satisfaction, engagement, productivity, health and safety, while also taking into account the influences from management, consumers, and the industry as a whole, I believe you as founders, operators, and team members can come to conclusions on a company's culture and ultimately arrive at more sensible decisions to drive it going forward. Where to start? It usually begins with values and a mission. So if you have cultural values that align with the values of your employees, I believe it will improve both employee retention and talent recruitment. It is important for everyone to know what values the management of a company believes resembles its culture, but also evaluate how aligned these are, and most importantly, how tied they are to the employees. Based on surveys we've done internally, this analysis shows a dispersion actually between what matters most to employees versus what a company presents as its core values. Again, I can tell you from the research and survey work done internally by our ESG team that the three values that matter the most in a services industry like restaurants are respect, appreciation, and opportunity, with fourth place coming in close as teamwork. As Noodles, a Colorado-based company, has defined its values, it's pretty simply, we care, we show pride, we're passionate, and we love life. And I thought it was also helpful to go through the values and mission of Upward Projects. This is a smaller female-led restaurant groupie that started in the Phoenix market and is now growing its Postino wine bar concept across communities around the country. Lauren Bailey, the founder and CEO, puts it this way: values connect everyone, and diversity is key. But here are 5 key examples. Be authentic and humble, act with integrity, bring good energy, get extraordinary results, and win as a team. This kind of flows into Upward Project's culture, which is defined as we're a team of innovators, collaborators, and adventurers with a hunger to lift up those around us. A sprinkle of fun goes into pretty much everything we do, but don't let that fool you. We swing hard every day with an eye to win. And again, even more distilled down is the mission: creating spaces where friends eat, drink, and feel good. In general, just making people feel good and welcome. For formerly Denver-based and founded Chipotle, Steve L's vision was to cultivate a better world. And this has come through in many different ways of being real, which defines the company's values to this day, even with close to 3,000 restaurants. Being real encompasses ingredients, sourcing, food, fighting for the planet, and treating people right by providing real culinary training, career opportunities, and great benefits. Of course, this has had to change over time as the brand has become the behemoth that it is. But as a people-first company rooted in values, the purpose of creating a better world extends beyond serving good food with real ingredients. It means hiring world-class individuals and being dedicated to investing in their future and partnering together to positively impact the communities they serve. Most notably, it means fostering a culture that champions diversity, ensures equity, and celebrates inclusion. Another example, which you'll see in the Denver market in Dutch Bros drive-through coffee chains, are values such as customer stoke, growth and opportunity, doing the right thing. It's never been about the money, DEI, and getting it done while having fun doing it. This has created a great culture that attracts really terrific team members and is summarized in the mission of committing to make a massive difference one cup at a time. Of course, all these can take a lot of different directions, but we wanted to stay focused on how you can attract and retain team members and share these values, given this is probably the largest challenge facing restaurants today. First of all, on the items we listed earlier, respect. We believe that a sign that a company respects and appreciates employees in the last 2 years of COVID is the prioritization of employee physical and mental health and safety over company performance. Both these areas have clearly been to the forefront in the past 2 years of the pandemic, and the fact that many restaurant industry workers are frontline, so to speak, with frequent customer contact. In fact, this is an area that is, although unfounded broadly, brought a lot of attention to the unionization efforts against Starbucks. Now, Starbucks is arguably one of the most progressive employers in the restaurant industry over its 50-year history, but it's still charged with bringing about more change and benefits to its employees. Interestingly, our survey results show that younger employees do feel more respected, but also on the other side, don't feel as if their safety in the past 2 years has been prioritized versus performance. Again, this is broadly speaking, as I look at the restaurant industry as having done an amazing job in protecting workers as much as they can. I think we all know what happens in a toxic or uncivil work environment. And inversely, as the Journal of Applied Psychology describes, when employees feel grateful at work, they are motivated to contribute to the welfare of others, and therefore less likely to put down coworkers, criticize them, or exclude them. In other words, because incivility and gossip harm others' well-being, gratitude should decrease interpersonal mistreatment through its effects on pro-social motivation. The next subject in values that came up in our survey was appreciation, which comes in many different forms beyond just dollars, although that is clearly an element that matters very much, as it is number 2 in our survey behind benefits, where there are additional things to do just beyond health insurance that can really focus on increasing appreciation among your team members and increase motivation and retention. Increased benefits appear to be more table stakes right now. So what have we discovered are the givens? Mental health counseling, college assistance, PTO vacation time, and parental leave seem to be some of the areas that many large restaurant companies are leaning into and possibly for you to consider. Finally, on opportunity, this is an area where we view workforce training, the process for promotions and bonuses, as well as the opportunity for internal mobility as the key to a successful culture and attracting high-quality people. From our survey results, we can infer that younger full-time employees value workforce training more than older employees. Dutch Bros, using them as another example, first of all hires great team members who are called broistas instead of baristas, and then trains and nurtures them as they enter the pathway to leadership, eventually becoming regional operators after a couple of years, 100% of whom have started at the broista level and can wind up supporting 3 or more locations at a time. The brand initially looks for attitude in its hiring, which encompasses qualities like personality, positivity, approachability, and individuality. And this is best summed up by sharing the Dutch love. So in wrapping, it's okay to create a cult around your culture. Just make sure it's a good one that reinforces your core values and beliefs and allows for growth and diversity of views. We all know that you need to generate a profit also to continue to grow, hire, and promote your business. And we think these strategies can help create value. You want a cult-like following for your restaurant brand or image, so it should start from within. Good luck finding those great team members out there, and thanks for your time.